Autistic me trying not to zone out while someone is talking to me. Or while you're talking to someone, because if you're having like a really bad brain day and you're just like trying to talk to someone, not because you actually want to, but because you kind of have to, and you just zone out and you have no idea what you said anymore, and you're just kind of hoping it was coherent enough for the other person to understand. Both is not great, but this one, from the actual meme of zoning out when someone is talking to you, just happens a lot more, doesn't it? Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing some neurodivergent memes, because for some reason I looked through my old photos and found memes in between like other pictures. And I know I looked through all of these pictures before, but somehow managed to miss memes. No idea how, but that's what we're doing today. But you know the deal, before we continue, y'all gotta get hydrated. So grab some water, or some tea, or whatever else you like to drink, and then we'll continue. Are you hydrated? Good. Let's go. I've just completed a minor household task, which I have been putting off for 18 months. It took me 15 minutes. Will I learn from this? I will not. Absolutely not. We're just gonna keep doing this, because logically we know. Like, logically we know that the thing we're just dreading to do is either just gonna be completely undramatic and will be done super quickly, like in 15 minutes, like whatever this dude did. But still, the dread will still be there. Like, the same way the dread is still there before things you know you're gonna enjoy. Like, I have... well, technically I only have like one concert ticket for next year, but the second one is coming, hopefully. And I'm so looking forward to it, but at the same time I'm dreading it and I don't know why. It's so stupid, because the concert ticket I have is for a concert of a group I've already been to, like 2 years ago. Well, almost 3 by the time the concert comes around, but anyways, I know I enjoyed myself, I know it was a lot of fun, I know I want to go again. Why am I dreading it? So it just makes sense that if it's for things you know you're gonna enjoy, logically, if the dread is still there for that, it kind of makes sense that you're not gonna learn from, like, boring things, like some household task that you're putting off because you're just dreading it. You know, it just kind of makes sense. It's annoying, but it makes sense. ADHD people, when they become friends with each other, we're brain damage pals now. It's funny if ADHD people say it. Like, if some neurotypical person would say this about people with ADHD, then it wouldn't be funny. But you know how the other person means it, in this case. So yeah, get yourself some brain damage pals, because why not? It's kind of a great feeling to be understood on that level, you know? So I think we all kind of need brain damage pals. Introverted, but willing to discuss my special interests. This meme, by the way, for example, was collected on the 2nd of December 2022. How did I miss it until now? I have no idea. But this is very fair. Like, I don't like talking to new people particularly, because I don't even know if it's just because of autism or because I'm just introverted, but I don't really enjoy it all that much. But if it's literally a conversation that started because it's about my special interest, then I can't be too mad about it, because then it doesn't feel as awkward. Like, normally when you do like small talk or something to get to know someone, I'm not here for it. But I also don't like being stared at by other people, but then if you don't say something, they're just gonna stand there like, and that's more uncomfortable, you know? So don't talk to me, but if you want to talk about my special interest, then why not? Neurotypical friends and family, will you please stop embarrassing me in public? Unapologetically neurodivergent adult who no longer respects social norms enough to mask. No. Thanks for asking, but just no, because this is the point I want to get to. I love seeing people like this. I love it. Obviously, I have to get past the being uncomfortable when people stare at me like that. Like, I get stared at everywhere I go anyways, because people constantly can't tell if I'm a guy or a girl. It's a whole thing, because I'm very tall, obviously. Yeah, I'm like 5'4" or 5'5", and then people think I must be a girl because of the hair, but then they're just like, wait, something's not adding up. If this is the first video you're watching, this is not my normal voice, I'm still sick. But still, like, this is really... Like, I already get stared at, so what would it even matter, really? And, like, logically, I know that it wouldn't actually matter if people also stare at me because they think I'm being weird, which people still think even if I'm asking, so what, like, really, what's the point? Logically, I know that. But I'm still trying to reach this point of just not giving a shit, you know? Like, I don't, but I do, if you know what I mean. Adult life may be difficult, but at least we don't have to do PE anymore. Because as much as I enjoy going to the gym, and I miss going to the gym because I've been sick, I hated PE. Like, everything smelled like sweat, and just, like, disgusting. Nothing felt clean. Like, any equipment that was used felt like it hadn't been cleaned since it was bought, probably. Everything felt disgusting, everything smelled disgusting. People are weird. I was never popular, so if it was like a team sports, I would... Like, even though I wasn't that bad at sports, I was still, like, always picked fairly, like, towards the end and, like, last. It was just the whole thing, and it was uncomfortable, and it just kind of made me hate doing sports and working out for a while there. You know... But I feel like a lot of people who hated PE as a child kind of really get into working out as an adult, so it kind of worked out, I guess. The most terrifying part of having memory issues is when you can feel something from 5 seconds ago be thrown out the window and there is an empty hole where it once was. You remember that you forgot something. You forgot something. Okay? With no other options? No, like, get it back or something? No? But literally this, like, sometimes you just forget something and you don't remember until someone brings it up. It's just like, I literally told you this before. Like, we talked about this yesterday. How do you not know? Sometimes you don't, but a lot of times you just have this feeling. Like, when you leave the house, it's just like, I know I didn't use my oven, but did I forget to leave the oven on? It's like that, but, like, worse. And it just feels... It's simultaneously frustrating and also, yes, kind of terrifying, because you have no control over it. You can't just, like, learn something and be like, no, I want to delete this one, and, like, keep the other one that I learned 5 minutes ago. You can't do that. Your brain just randomly seems to pick and ends up deleting the wrong things. And then you remember unimportant shit someone said to you when you were like 8 years old, but you don't remember the important thing you were just told. Or the thing you wanted to remember. Which is great, of course. My therapist just told me my problem is that I need to write more fanfiction. This sounds fake, but the logic behind it is actually really interesting. She said obsessions with a new fandom triggers quick dopamine release, and when we consume all this related content, it's easy and addictive. What we're not getting is that slow dopamine that's more sustainable and engaging. That's the kind we get from doing things that take effort but are ultimately rewarding. So, like, she suggested that writing fic and making fan art are ways to balance the quick dopamine of watching a show or reading fic with the slow dopamine of working at something that actually takes effort. Moral of the story is, you should engage in the process of creation around your favorite things, you'll feel better for it. Oh, sorry for the gap between my updates. My therapist made me come back to this. Would not be in the top 1 million wildest author notes on AO3. Yeah, probably not. I feel like you're gonna have some really casual, like, excuses of, oh, sorry, I just got busy with life. Sorry, I was, like, busy with exams, or I had to study. Then you will have things like this, probably. Like, listen, I bet you if you looked long enough, you could find this in author's mention. on like Fix on AO3. You could probably find it. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere, you know, because it just makes a lot of sense. Like, one is just like, especially if you have like executive function issues, one is just easy to do. Like plopping down and like rewatching your favorite show or your favorite like videos or something is a lot easier to do. You can just kind of like manage to turn it on and then just kind of sit there, and it's still enjoyable and you still get dopamine from it, but you will probably feel more rested and better all if you somehow manage to actually, I don't know, create art or write a fanfiction, or, you know, I did like audio edits a bit of just kind of like crack moments of like my favorite K-pop group and just like adding it with songs of theirs, and it was so silly. And was it good? Probably not, but I had fun doing it, you know. I used one of those sounds as an alarm for a long time, but I was not willing to risk being sick of that song, so I had to stop at some point, you know. But it takes more effort and it's like harder to actually do if you have like functioning issues, but it is like, this therapist has a point. It's really more rewarding and it makes you feel better overall. It's half empty. It's half full. What on earth is that doing there without a coaster? There are just two options. If anyone ever says there are only ever two options, just laugh in their face, because they're just wrong. They're just wrong. Like, sure, a lot of people will look at this and be like, well, this looks half full, this looks half empty. Some people will focus on the color of the glass and be like, well, I don't have a color glass like that. Or, oh my god, I have this exact glass at home. Or, more importantly, what is it doing on a glass table without a coaster? Do you want water stains on your table? Like, sure, with a wood table it might actually be worse, but what are you doing? Use a coaster. God damn it. When I said make yourself at home, I meant go do the dishes. What are you doing sitting down on the sofa? Listen, I really wish someone would do this. Just like make themselves at home and just like randomly start vacuuming my entire apartment or something. Or make the dishes. I would not be mad. Like, I guess some people don't like it when other people do it, and normally I'm not a big fan of people like being in my space without me knowing about it or touching my things. Not a fan of it. But if you touch my things to clean and therefore do something that is really gonna help me, I guess I'm not that mad about it anymore. I really can't be, because then it's clean. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with vacuuming, for example. Like, I need to do it more often than I kind of hate doing it, but if then, like, my ex-roommate who I lived with for a couple of months, when she was angry, she cleaned. And I would come home and she'd be like, I vacuumed your room, I hope you're not mad at me. And I was like, no, actually, that's brilliant, thank you. You know, like, don't touch my stuff, but if you come here to clean, I'm not gonna be that mad. I don't just say awkward things. I am an awkward thing. Also, kind of the energy I'm trying to embody. Like, why do I feel guilty about being awkward? Like, why do I put that on myself? If it's awkward for you, that's a you problem, but if it's just awkward because I'm doing something that you don't like, why do I feel guilty about it? Like, if I stim in public and you just think it's weird, that's kind of a you problem. Like, so this is very much the energy I'm trying to move forward with. You know, me, when the disability disables me. Oh, what the hell? This sucks. What the hell, man? Me, when my chronic pain chronically hurts. Me, when the neurodivergence makes me diverge from other neuros. Me, when the chronic fatigue fatigues me chronically. This wasn't supposed to happen. Like, it literally was. Like, it's there, it's in the name. Like, chronic fatigue is gonna make you chronically fatigued. It's right there. Chronic illness is chronically gonna throw pain at you. It's supposed to do that. That's like literally why it's called that, but why? Why? Like, does it get easier? I feel like it gets easier a little bit. to get used to it, you know? But still, why? I feel like that those moments of ever just being like, wait, you weren't supposed to do that, when that's literally what the thing does. I feel like those moments never fully go away, actually. Me. Feels happy. My brain. Okay, first of all, how dare you? This is not gonna continue if I have a say in it. You're just gonna suddenly feel completely depressed and not be able to get off the couch for a week. How about that? There. Fixed it. Brain, why? Just why? Why are you like this? This is literally just rude. It is literally just so rude. But our brains are really good at it, and I really wish they weren't. Please color the Danish flag, the Swedish flag, the Finnish flag. No. Well, this literally would have been me as a child, and my mom would have been so mad because she was constantly mad when I brought home exams, and I made like mistakes like these because I just didn't read it correctly, because I was just like scanning over it and just like wanted to get it done quickly, and I just made mistakes like this. Like, obviously there's a letter too much in this word to like for the flag this person actually drew, but I would have made mistakes like this on exams as a child and my mom would have been mad. So I just wanted to include it because I feel like it might be a very ADHD thing to do. Okay, when people call you from a private number, respect their privacy and don't answer. Not really a neurodivergent meme, maybe just introverted, but I feel like a lot of autistic people specifically kind of have a kind of difficult relationship with phone calls. So you gotta respect their privacy. I mean, they obviously didn't want me to know who they are, so I can't pick up, you know? And in other news, I keep getting calls from like from the Netherlands this week. I've gotten like 5 calls from like 5 different numbers from the Netherlands, and I don't know why, and I'm very annoyed at it. But since it's different numbers, I can't just like block all of them. And I tried googling them and that didn't work, so obviously I'm not gonna pick it up, you know? Oh, alrighty, let's see when my appointment is. Yesterday. Right. Damn it. I feel like this could very easily happen. And I'm very scared of this happening, so I always have it like saved in 3 different places. Like, I probably still kept, like, if it's a doctor's appointment, you usually get like a piece of paper. I usually have that somewhere. I write it in the calendar on my phone. I write it in my reminders on my phone, usually like a week before as well. Like, put it on the actual day and then like a week before or something. So this doesn't happen. Will I still forget it? And say, oh sure, I have time that day, and then remember I have an appointment, or see that I have an appointment and have to awkwardly be like, hey, actually I don't have time, never mind, I'm sorry. But hey, at least I didn't buy concert tickets when I had an exam that day. I don't actually know this person. She was supposed to go to a concert with us, but she bought a ticket and then remembered she had an exam the next morning and had no way of getting back on time from the concert in Berlin to her hometown. So, you know, at least I didn't do that yet. Here you go. 2 Happy Meals and a barely coping meal. Literally, why has no one done this yet? Like, as a go-to drink, you could just like include like a really strong coffee with like 2 to 6 shots of espresso, or just like a normal coffee to go mug, but it's just filled with espresso, which would be like 20 shots of espresso and you would probably die. But you know, your kids haven't killed you yet, the stress hasn't killed you yet, so maybe the espresso won't kill you either, you know? Like, it would seriously just be so funny if someone actually did this. And I feel like people, even if they aren't at that stage of just like barely being coping or like barely getting along, I feel like they would still get this because it's funny. It would kind of... Is it just me who thinks that'd be funny? Maybe, but I feel like it would sell well. Me, texting back 4 days later, continuing the conversation like I didn't disappear for 96 hours. Again, if you have brain damage, pals, if you also have people in your life who are neurodivergent, or, you know, then they'll understand. That's the thing. You'll both do this. You'll both do this. Someone will just like be gone for a week and then just text back and continue like nothing happened. But you don't really need to apologize because you both do it. Because it's like, no, I get that. I get that you probably like looked at my messages 5 to 10 different times and were like, oh yeah, I'm gonna text back in a bit, and then just got distracted again or something. Listen, we get it, and if you have neurodivergent friends, they'll definitely get it too. I love planners, diaries, highlighters, nice pens, to-do lists, and anything else that gives me the illusion that I'm getting my life together. Will it actually work? Will I keep using these things long term? Probably not. Like, literally the only thing I've somehow managed to use for like 2 years now is like the reminders app in my phone, because I use it for like a lot of things. Like, I have a vitamin reminder every day, so I keep taking my supplements. I have like my video, like when I'm gonna film, when I'm gonna edit, that all scheduled out. I have like appointments. I have which days I'm going to the office, because I always like meet up with one colleague to go to the office together. Like, we plan that out and then I put it in my phone so I don't forget again. I have like doctor's appointments. I have pretty much everything. I even have it when I need to go to my family. Right? That and the whiteboard that you can't see because hang on. I used like several different like layouts for this, but I've used it for quite a while. Like, when I first got it, I think I used it for something else. Like, I used it to learn Korean, or like I think I was still like learning Hangul, and I was just like using it to practice writing letters. But ever since, I've been using it as a to-do list kind of as well. Yes, I have a double because I also have when I need to film and edit on here. But I need to have a double. But like that's the only thing I've ever used completely, because if I have a to-do list on paper, I'm probably gonna like have half of it and then forget about it for a month and then find it again and then just throw it away, because it's like, well, it doesn't matter now anymore. You know, like literally the only two things I've ever used continuously. Okay, I need a day between every day to recover from the day before and prepare for the day coming. This, like the 5-day work week and 2-day weekend, not working. Not working, because it's like, then you need to do things after work. How is that supposed to like even work? Like, how is that supposed to work? You need to go grocery shopping, you need to like do laundry and do dishes, but how is all of that supposed to work when you're just like going to work day after day? How? Like, even neurotypical people struggle with this, because it was just kind of created on the assumption that someone else would be home and do all the things while you're working. And then it would kind of work, right? If you have someone who stays at home and just like takes care of the household and does the laundry and does everything and goes grocery shopping and does the cooking, and you literally just have to go to work and come back home, then it would kind of work. But since that isn't how most people live their lives anymore, everyone's just struggling. But I feel like, as much as neurotypical people are also allowed to complain about this, obviously, being neurodivergent just adds another level of difficult, I guess, to this whole situation. Yesterday, I was so bored, tired, and desperate for entertainment that I actually watched a video on my watch later list. I have never been that bored, apparently, or that desperate. Like, I've watched my favorite shows or my favorite like videos on YouTube so many times, but never have I actually gone to my watch later section. I can't tell you if there are videos on there. There probably are. And I can't tell you how many. I can't tell you how long they've been on there. And I also, it's so weird, I created like another list for like music, from like music videos or something, or covers that are only on YouTube and not on Spotify. I created a list. I can tell you maybe like 2 or 3 songs that are on there, but I know there are more, and I can't tell you which ones I saved there. So how does it feel to be that bored? Like, I can't imagine. actually. Anyways, I feel kind of called out enough. And I also feel like if I keep talking, I'm probably gonna end up coughing a lot, so I'm gonna leave you here. I hope you're hydrated. If not, maybe go drink something now. I'm gonna go make tea because I don't like being sick, you know? So anyways, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back in a few days with my next video in hopefully healthy again.